Hey everybody, today is January 28th, 2022. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
And welcome to Hanging with Uncle.
How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. It's been another interesting week.
Thank God it's Friday.
Amen.
On my part.
So don't forget to pay yourself.
Don't forget to pay yourself, first of all. But for those who are out there having a struggling week, I'm there with you. Car is not working still, but, I have those who are helping me transport around, so I thank them openly, of course, every day. But again, I'm appreciative of those. But let's get into the good stuff, right?
So right now, if you're listening to us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button.
And then hit that bell. Whenever you want to hear us go live, it'll send a notification to your phone or tablet.
And this week, we are starting off with Cookie Burn, which is crossed the finish line at 23%.
I have never had this strain before. This is a new experience for me.
Yes.
I'm ready for it. Cookie Burn. I'm going to hit
Burn.
this. Mm-hmm.
So I kind of wanted to start the week off talking about Kanye West.
Okay.
I never agree with Kanye West. I think he's a blockhead.
Okay.
But on this, I got to, say I agree with him 100%. Yes.
All right.
He is trying to have some kind of legislation enacted regarding the paparazzi.
Okay, so
because they follow them, they stake them out, they take their pictures, they make money off their likeness.
Right.
When does the artist get paid?
So I agree with this. I know where this is going, and I actually do feel strongly about this too because I know way too much about Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly's relationship. Unwanted, involuntarily. Just because of media itself alone. I don't know what Kanye's pushing. I'm sure you know a little bit more fact than I do, but I'm honestly already for it because I know that paparazzi, they invade privacy. They do.
They have no respect for artists or entertainers because it could be musicians, actors. It doesn't matter. They have no respect or boundaries. They're the reason Prince's Di was dead because they were chasing the limo trying to get pictures.
Wow, really? I didn't look into. I haven't known anything about that story.
They were running from the paparazzi.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's so sad.
So on this, I totally agree. It's like, look at actress so and so who's caught without makeup. I mean, do I really care?
No, not at all. I don't care if somebody got married drinking each other's blood. Yes, MGK and Megan Fox did that. Yeah, so there you just like
right,
what? You just went what? Yeah, exactly. That's something that came up on my Twitter feed the other day.
Right.
But it's really, I don't listen to MGK.
I don't. To me, there are other ways to swap DNA orally. I wouldn't do it through blood.
Yeah, that's just I don't know. That's kind of disease-ish. It's
yeah.
very Satan-y, very demonic.
It doesn't fit in my wheelhouse.
No, I'm good with that. But yeah, I'll push with what Kanye is saying. I'll agree with his stance on this.
So, say for example, a picture is put in whatever publication, and the name of that photographer has to go in there. Mm-hmm. I believe that entertainer should be compensated for having their likeness used for somebody else's
entertainment,
economic benefit.
Right, absolutely. They're using their livelihood for their money, and vice versa. It turns their livelihood into something entertaining. Kanye just makes music. Why do I care about him walking to the grocery store?
Right, I don't, but.
Right.
Not having worn those shoes, I can only imagine if for some reason I walk out my front door now and there's 50 photographers want to follow me just because I want to go put gas in my car or whatever,
Even in the song Holy Grail, Jay-Z talks about how it's hard for him to even go to the convenience store with his daughter because there's paparazzi around the corner.
Exactly.
It's literally he has the same issue. It's why he stays at home. He's a hermit. So, I mean, yeah, it's a big issue. I hope, honestly, it becomes a bigger conversation for Kanye.
I do, too, and I think because Kanye...
Conway Twitty.
I blame the cookie burn. But yeah, I agree with Kanye, and I think because he is such a big star that he will get a lot of support, and our legislators have to look at this and say, this is disruptive to people's lives, no matter what their profession is.
It's an invasion of privacy.
It is.
It really is. Like, I
if
don't
you
care.
want to picture somebody, make an appointment, sit down with them, and do an interview.
And it literally makes people crazy about this information.
It's like stealing.
And people live off of this. Like, there are people who look forward to hearing the next news about their person that they idolize, relationship, whatever. They're the biggest fan because I'm going to know so much about them. Like, what does that benefit you in life? Like, I am a fan of music artists, yes, but I understand they are music artists. I don't base my life off of what they're doing. We talked last week about Jay-Z suing and multiple others about changing a law to where they want their music to be portrayed as art. It is art.
That's what it is.
That's all it is. It's not life. It's art.
So, and I think we need to respect these artists, whether you like them or not. Respect what they do in their craft.
Right.
Because to me, I don't hate on anybody because I don't like what they do. I just choose not to listen to it because
it's
I
your
don't have the
personal
talent.
choice.
I can't rap.
Yeah, it's your personal choice to listen to them or not. I mean, whatever you do, we talked about all the time. Whatever you do, you put your money towards what you would support, right? So think with your money, put it where you want it to go, right? So I mean, just let the artists be artists. That's it.
And stop following them around.
Right. There's no point in that.
Right.
They're not that entertaining all the time.
I agree.
All right. I got a little sad segment going on. It's a sad day. Sega, the gaming company, announced that they will be closing their arcade doors all over Japan officially. They actually there was a prediction back in 2020 to when it was going to be a thing to happen with COVID hitting. It's hard for people to go and go to the arcade and game, but it was a big. I mean, arcades weren't inherently big in general,
Yeah.
Like, then COVID hitting, GameStop plummeted itself. So we already know people aren't going out to game; they're staying in to game now. So
exactly.
Arcades are plummeting. So it's sad to say, but Sega has pulled out from its 50 years of holding arcades in Japan. They no longer will have any there. That's sad to say.
Thanks, COVID. Thank you, anti-vaxxers, for not... Well, anyway, don't get me started.
I mean, it's killing something good, but maybe... We've always talked about rebrand, or not even just rebranding, but going into a different area of your expertise. I mean, online gaming is a huge thing. If Sega were to bring retro gaming online, hey... Here's a Sega Genesis for you to play online.
Remember the Sega Genesis console?
Yeah.
But now I think they went PlayStation.
Right. If I were to get a Sega Genesis controller that would just hook up to my computer and I'd play Sega Genesis on my PC, I definitely would.
I miss the Sega Genesis.
If they can hit
games.
that I actually have a 32-bit Sega Genesis that has some retro games on it.
Oh, nice.
Pre-installed that are pretty nice. And it has a retro controllers too, the A through C's.
So
yeah.
I used to have one. It was a Madden football, but that was when Joe Montana was still playing with the 49ers. I mean, it was that old.
Madden was so good on Sega. There was a Jurassic Park game that I played, The Lost World of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It was really fun on there. Sonic, it was one of my favorite games of all time.
Exactly, yeah.
All-time favorite game.
So, it's sad to hear Sega's closing its doors, at least arcade-wise. Maybe they'll bring, gaming back.
A lot of classics
console gaming back into the residential area.
A lot of classics came from the Sega era, so
right.
A lot of new platforms own them now, so they're still running and doing great.
Right, yeah.
So let's move into some sports. Let's talk sport ball. Sports ball.
Yes,
like the ball of sport. Football is coming up this weekend. Playoffs.
We're in the Final Four of football.
We are Final Four. The Super Bowl is among us. We are going to try to pick and predict our Super Bowl.
Okay. You want to go first?
I will go first. I am going to go with the safe pick, with the Rams and the Chiefs being the final two in the for the Super Bowl. But I'm going to put a little asterisk next to my pick because I believe in the 49ers. I believe in it. So if it's not LA and KC, it is KC and SF for me.
So
I get two picks.
Okay.
For some weird way.
So honestly, I mean, I've always called them the Bungles instead of the Bengals, but they have a good team where I think the strength in that matchup is going to be, unfortunately, I think KC's defense can stop Joe Burrow better than the Bengals defense can stop Patrick Mahomes.
But they definitely have had that season, that dramatic season, to where they, like, it could possibly happen for them. You know, like, there's a big possibility for all four of these teams.
But as
there
far
are
as the
favorites.
Rams,
yes.
I think, honestly, the Rams have
a solid
too
defense.
many weapons. And I know they played the Niners in the last week of the season and blew a 17-point lead. But this is to go to the playoffs. That doesn't happen again.
No.
I think that the Rams jump up 17-0, and there's not going to be another Cinderella comeback for the Niners. And I agree. I think it's going to be a Chiefs-Rams Super Bowl.
A Chiefs-Rams Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, Garoppolo has his story. This is for the Niners and the Rams matchup. It's story of the quarterbacks, like who's actually going to make it to the Super Bowl, who has been in the shadows of other quarterbacks for their whole entire career. Garoppolo always has one solid season and gets traded. It's his normal story. Like Stafford and coming to LA, new team, new atmosphere, better team. Is he actually the quarterback? So who knows?
Here's my opinion on Matthew Stafford. I think playing his entire career in Detroit, having no offensive line in front of him, and still being a pretty much stand-up quarterback in the league,
right?
It has a lot to say for his ability. And I think now with the Rams, where he has an offensive line in front of him, so he has protection, and he has receivers, he has Beckham and Krupp, and he has running backs.
Gotcha.
So he has weapons. There's more to just stopping the Rams than stopping Matthew Stafford, because if that's your plan, you're going to lose.
Right, and I mean, looking at the point spread, it doesn't look like everyone's too confident in voting for the Rams and being the team to win, but because it's only a 3.5 spread. But I mean, KC only has a 7-point spread with the Bengals, so I feel like it's more toss-up than anything.
Again, I could pay. As far as spreads and the odds, I could care less. That's for Vegas to decide. To me, it's just win or lose. That's how Gene looks at sports.
You look at who has the better run, who's better chemistry right now, all that nonsense. You look at the technicality of the sport.
I do, and the coaching and and honestly, I just think the Rams have more talent. The Rams have a better defense than the 49ers.
The Rams have a crazy defense. Tom Brady witnessed it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it right there.
Right.
Like, they say defense wins championships, and that's what I was going to say is, even though I'm wishy-washy saying that the Niners could possibly pull it off, like I said, on my second pick, if the Rams go and play against Kansas City and they bring that defense to Mahomes, I can see them winning the bowl. So
that's a whole nother conversation.
That's next week.
Yeah, Mahomes has wheels, Garoppolo doesn't.
Yeah, but the Rams have wheels too. That's the issue. They're a different defense. They are. Watching what they did to Brady was crazy. But anyways, moving on from that, I want to talk a little bit of basketball too.
Oh, absolutely. We got the NBA All-Star game coming up.
The All-Star games are coming up. Votes are finally in. Everyone's all buzzing about who made it and who missed it and who should have been and who shouldn't have. Props to Andrew Wiggins for making it to his first All-Star appearance and being a starter, which is awesome. However, asterisks. Again, it's my favorite word so far today. LeBron got voted in again. Cool. Yeah, he's captain again because he's one of the most popular players in the league. Kevin Durant, number 2 for the East. He's the Eastern captain. For the Eastern Conference of starters, Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Trae Young, and DeMar DeRozan. Props to DeRozan for making it in this year as well, especially being a starter too, which I think is great. But Western Conference with LeBron again, who I said earlier, Nikola Jokic, Andrew Wiggins, again, props. John Morant, also big props. We praise John Morant. We love John Morant here, even though he scares me every time he faces the Suns.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies always have that little edge for some weird reason. And Steph Curry for his 8th appearance in the All-Star. A lot of people feel like players got snubbed because the players that are in the number 1 team in the league didn't even get to be in a starting position. They are going to be playing, I'm assuming, if that's how it works, but they only started the starters, Timberwolves. And he's the captain of the Western Conference.
You know,
like it's literally just a popularity contest.
That's all it is. So
it's an all-star for the stars to go and play to have a big revenue night, I guess.
I will not be watching it.
It sucks, but it's cool. Suns players, Suns fans are all familiar with the snubs, so be ready for that. That's what we're saying.
Right.
I'm saying at least is to be ready for the Suns after the All-Star break, because they're gonna come back with a little vengeance to show that they are tired of being disrespected.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Massive disrespect in the league for my boys. So sad, man. All right. So sad. All right.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
It is what it is. We're moving on from sports, and we are hopping on legalization because we love pot here. Actually, it's my turn.
Yeah. So, yes, Amazon has come out and supported the States Reform Act that we talked about on the show before, and it's sponsored by Republican Nancy Mace in the House of Representatives from South Carolina. And
awesome.
What the bill does, it legalizes it on a federal level, takes it off Schedule 1, and allows the states to regulate it or deal with it as they see fit. But at least the government's not going to waste any effort on it.
Right. And now, we've talked about it before. When corporations make moves, our country moves. So, and Amazon is a huge corporation.
They have billions.
Massive corporation.
They have lobby money if they really want to push the issue.
And if they really want to push the issue, they'll push. And I honestly think they want to hop into space as best as they can and as early as they can. And they understand the progressive insight of marijuana and cannabis. And we talked last week about CBD being a wonderful beneficiary towards COVID-19. Just CBD, not THC.
Just CBD oil.
Yes, just CBD. We talked about THC possibly being it, and they also researched that THC is not the case. It reverts the...
THC actually hinders the CBD benefits.
There we go. Yes.
Yeah.
So, just CBD, straight CBD. But where do they get CBD from?
From the hemp plant,
from the plant,
which is,
from it. So we got to go into clinical research. We got to look into how it'll help the body.
It's an entire, you talk about growing the economy, the GDP, the gross domestic product, which, by the way, is booming under President Biden. It's the biggest it's ever been since 1984 when Ronald Reagan was president.
Good. That's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Congratulations, President. Now, just me, he's been in office less than a year. Or, no, it's been more than a year now.
It's been a little bit more than a year, yeah.
But I think in that year he's accomplished so much, and this isn't on our talking points, but anybody out there hating Biden is just hating Biden or listening to misinformation, because with the power that he has as president, he's done a really good job.
He is missing the bullet points of what things we want. Like, America is pushing for, education reform. They want their dues to be paid. They don't want these fees. They don't want these loans anymore. They want them paid off. But also, we've been pushing hard on the cannabis point too. That's another big thing that we.
I say cancel student loan debt, legislate the trickle down.
And I think that is a great idea to let the states manage and fund what they want to do with cannabis, and let federal just completely legalize it on their end and have the states manage it within their states, because then that opens up clinical trial and all that nonsense. Which is what we've been preaching and wanting. We want the beneficial parts of the plant. We don't want it just to smoke it. We want people to benefit from it. I know those who are on seizure medication or aren't anymore, just because of CBD itself. Just CBD.
Glaucoma patients, like my dad, he had to put drops in his eyes. Well, guess where the derivative of that medicine came from?
Where did it come from?
The hemp plant.
Oh, hey. Well, we can't use hemp for the other things that we want. We can use it for clothing, durable clothing.
Well, I use hemp lotion all the time.
Hemp lotion is beautiful. It smells
put
wonderful.
Hemp seed in my oatmeal or in my salads.
It's healthy for you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's very high in protein.
It's a fear that people have. Like, it's really just like, we're not going to talk about that because that's something that's bad. No, don't. Why are you defaulting to bad? You literally just listed like 5 things that were beneficial, like, and just from hemp, the male side of the plant,
right?
The male. So,
right.
I don't know. That's just my stance on it. We are not being progressive because we're not looking into things and options that we have. That CBD news versus COVID-19 is huge. Why are we not researching that as fast as possible?
Because it's on Schedule 1.
Exactly. Like, we should, boom, all right, hey, this does this. We should find a way to maximize this. We should find a way to amplify this. We should find a way to humanize this and make it for us, because that's what humans do. We take something and make it for us.
And you know what? That's called science.
Yes. Discovery. Like, we found the cow, discovered, it makes good food. We will multiply cow and make it food for us. We discovered that wood make fire best. So we make fire through wood.
Like, defense weapon, build shelter.
Build shelter with what we've learned and grew do the same thing. Take it off of Schedule 1. Look into it.
And learn.
Man. That's all we gotta do as a human race. Please.
That's it.
That's a freak ton of jobs, by the way. Asterisks on that one. Again, big term. Word of the day.
Congress.
Yeah, we're more Congress talk. This is kind of like a pay yourself segue. Again, pay yourself. I'm paying myself. You better pay yourself. I had to sell my car, sad, but I'm going to be paying myself through it by getting a new car.
Use your wheels as a down payment so you don't come out of your pocket for any money.
Exactly,
or
what
as
I'm
little
doing.
as possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in doing any more, throwing more money in a hole. Just go and sell it. That's all I'm doing. But Congress still trading. Yes, if we're third week in a row, we're going to be talking about it. But we are figuring out more and more facts about it. So we talked about there was a bipartisan support last week. And we got a little bit more of a broad spectrum of how many people, up to 27 to 35 different people amongst Congress, but bipartisan meaning Democratic and Republican, who are all for getting taking away trading.
Well, living in Arizona, I'm very happy to see that our Senator Mark Kelly is also a co-sponsor of a bill in the Senate to do just that.
I don't normally pay attention to local politics. We normally talk about the big headline stuff, so everyone is kind of aware of what's going on, and so they can kind of have their own open mind to go look and research and educate themselves. But yeah, it's nice to hear that Mark Kelly is standing for something that I believe in right now.
Yeah,
as well. It seems like he's doing well for our state.
He's when it comes to doing what you can, putting where the rubber meets the road is how you vote, and 100% of the time, Mark Kelly has voted for us. He's voted for voting rights. He's voted for wanting to support Build Back Better. He's supported the COVID relief bill. I mean, he really has done what he's supposed to do, which is represent the people of Arizona.
And I'm proud to have that happen.
And I'm going to vote for him again this November.
Why not? He's doing what we need to do. Like, if he's for what we like and he's doing the progressive take, let's keep going. Let's move forward.
Right.
I'm all for it.
Here's something I respect about that. I know we have a few minutes left.
Yep.
But for somebody that can live off of their salary as a senator, which I think as a freshman senator, it's like $202,000, plus his retirement from the military, that's enough money. That's somebody that understands he has his daily bread, that doesn't want to trade stock and enrich himself, but wants to serve the people.
Right.
He's a public servant. That's what he's done his entire career.
Right. He's speaking for us. This is exactly what we want our leaders to represent us for. We want them to lead for us.
We want our elected officials to represent us, not the donor class.
That's what the word means, representative, to represent.
Right now we have taxation without representation.
Definitely. We're missing that shit.
Yeah. Thanks, Cinema and Mansion. You guys need to go. You're worthless.
God, we just need a clean house, man. I keep saying it. Just get out with old, in with the new.
Oh, speaking of clean house, I'm also disappointed to hear Nancy Pelosi is running for re-election.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been a Democrat my entire life. I've not always voted Democrat because you know me, I look more for what the person and what they stand for. Mm-hmm. So here's just something else to kind of I'll throw out there. I changed my voting affiliation. I'm no longer registered as a Democrat.
Oh, okay.
I'm a registered voter, party not affiliated.
So you're voting the way you should be, I believe, is free of ties, free of shackles, and what you truly believe for as an American.
I really hate the herd mentality. Just because somebody has a D next to their name doesn't mean I have to support you, because there's a lot of people with D next to their names that are pieces of shit that we should never vote for.
I have said prior to our show, or like early seasons, that the team mentality is what people vote for these days, and that's not how you should vote. You should vote for how you feel, for what you represent, and for the people that represent for how you feel. Yeah. Simple as that. Doesn't matter if they're red, blue, pink, or green.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, vote for who you believe in.
It's just that, honestly, it's not so much that I've been like, as my buddy would say, banging for the blue team. It's just that I don't agree with the damn thing Republicans say. What they think, how they feel, the way they want to give tax breaks to the rich. Don't tell me you're pro-life, but be like Ron Johnson and saying it's not up to us to take care of you, but you have to have that baby, and even though you can't take care of it.
Yeah, we're critical of everything here, too. Everything that's not. That doesn't see eye to eye with us, It doesn't matter where it's coming from.
Anyway, let's skip to Ukraine, because that's
a big deal, but you really got to get to that. Russia invasion.
I think it's very real. I think, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Mm-hmm. Putin has already invaded Ukraine once when he took Crimea. He's invaded Georgia. He's trying to put the Soviet Union back together. Right now, it's Russia. He wants to go back to the old Soviet Union, the hammer and sickle.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah. So he wants to keep the progression.
He wants to squash the progression. So, man. I think that but see, the bad part about it is that he has them from the south because he's annexed Crimea, right? So he can attack Ukraine from the south. Ukraine's border on the east is Russia. Okay. Russia can just roll across the east.
Right, because they're allied with them, correct?
Well, they're bordered with them. The Ukraine is not part of Russia. They don't want to be part of them, but they're not part of NATO.
Oh, gotcha.
Which I think is what they should do, because I'm just looking at this, if you think about it on a map. To the north of Ukraine is Belarus. Belarus is a pro-country, a pro-Russia country. They support Putin, and as we know now, Russia has sent units to Belarus to do military exercises. To the west of Ukraine is Poland, which is which used to be part of the Warsaw Pact back when it was Russia.
Right.
But now they're part of NATO. I think the only way really out of this is for Ukraine to join NATO. It would piss Putin off, but he would not dare invade
Ukraine,
a NATO nation.
Yeah. Dang. Well,
and that's why he's fucking with Ukraine, because they're not a NATO nation.
So if Russia invades Ukraine, what happens?
Bloodshed.
Typical. That's it. All war is.
That's it. Man. It is bloodshed.
Well, I know we're running out of time, but we're going to sign off with our dumbasses of the week.
We got to do a dumbass of the week.
I'm signing off with mine. Kid Rock is my dumbass of the week. He is canceling his tour places to two cities that have COVID mandates and protocols. So if they're checking for people who are sick and all the nonsense and making sure COVID's not spreading, he's going to cancel. So he's a dumbass.
This organization for defamation for how they portray her, right?
Right.
And her lawsuit was supposed to start this week in New York. Well, she had to postpone the trial because she's tested positive for COVID.
Damn.
2 days later, she's seen out in public in New York at restaurants, dining, hanging out with people, no mask on, with knowing she's COVID. Knowing she's positive for COVID.
Wow.
So this is what pisses me off about these anti-mandate, anti-vaccine dumbasses.
Right.
You think you have the right to say it's my body, my choice. You get sick. It's your body, your choice. You don't have. You can kiss my fucking ass.
That's crazy, man.
Anyway, I'm Gene.
I'm Zane.
And thank you for hanging with Uncle.
We will see you next week. Follow us on Twitter.